Yes, welcome. Here we are, Espresso Sesh, episode 115. My name is Antonino Musco. I'm here every Tuesday from 2 to 4. Today we have the honor to host Clarion Band.
All right.
It's a trio, but, you know, they resemble a little bit. Clarion was gonna release their first album, the debut, called Radio San Patricio, this Friday.
It's Friday at Safe House Arts.
Safe
Hi,
House.
everybody.
Hello.
Nino for hosting us today.
Let's present Colin O'Leary, songwriter, band leader.
Hello, hello. I don't even know where I'm looking right now from.
Yeah, no, you have to talk. We are doing radio.
Right.
Video is an extra thing. You are listening to
Video's
BFF.
extra. You got to pay extra for the video.
Yeah, no, it's all
Release
free.
too,
It's all free.
Yeah.
BFF.fm, best frequencies forever. Live from the 17 and Cup Mission District.
Yeah.
Matt Kelly on the trumpet, Fabio Reis on the percussion, drums. All right, so let's start with the Clarion. So, from the name, I guess this project started out of Clarion Alley, no?
Yeah, we used to get together all the time out in Clarion Alley, and we still do when the weather permits, and kind of danced around the cops, danced around the neighbors, and got the people dancing too, so they couldn't kick us out. And we wrote our songs from there.
Okay,
and
so outside on Clarion.
Yeah,
outside, cool.
Yeah. And so, you know, we just, makeshift, we get it together out there. We can be upwards of like 10 different people, or we can be the three different people. We mix it up.
And you guys, your sound is something in between the song cubano, guajira,
yeah, we mix in
cumbia.
some song, we mix in guajira, we like to play a lot of cumbia, some americana. We like to play a Woody Guthrie tune that we'll play a little bit later. We try to mix it up in different. We got a little jazz piece too. Try to mix it up.
So from like a jam on the street, on an alley.
Well, I mean, we wrote the songs out, but we didn't really have endings or beginnings. They just were kind of amorphous, and then we put them together.
No, my question was like from like playing on the street, like you working on some material, then actually end up on a physical release, no, on an album.
I got my funds together to produce this album independently, and friends came out to put their talent in and to put their input in, and we came out with this 8-song EP, English and Spanish. A lot of stories behind every single song about things that are happening in the neighborhood, things that are happening in our country, and some history to it as well. And there's 12 different musicians on this album, all local, and it's been a pleasure. And we're really excited about releasing it on Friday.
Yeah, this coming Friday is the album release, no?
Mm-hmm. We're releasing it at Safe House Arts, which is at 1 Grove Street, not to be missed. No curfew issues there, so we can stay late. Doors open at 9. Our friends, Los Peregrinos Cósmicos, are going to open with some rumba flamenco, and then we're gonna play the album live. And our other friends, Pangea Football Club, of which we're also members of the band, are going to play too. Local favorites around town. We're going to do some new songs. And then it's open, so people can come and sit in with us if they want
jam,
to.
okay.
Jam. Yeah,
cool.
Wide open. We're asking for $10. That'll get you a CD too. And that helps us pay for the security out front and pay for the venue as well. But no one's going to be turned away if you can't pay for it.
That's okay. Cool. So you guys are playing some music live tonight.
Yeah.
But let's talk before you play. So you're the main songwriter of this this band, no?
Yeah.
And so how you get inspired to make this music? That is actually, I mean, it's not like we are global citizen, no? But it's, what was your inspiration? Like it's something. I mean, Latin music you love a lot, no? You play with Pangea, bass player of Pangea.
I play with a bunch of different local Latin bands,
and also with like some
salsa bands too.
Band,
Susana Cortez y su Orquesta Adelante let me sit in with her on Tres. That's where I met Matt. He sits in with them as well, and playing with Pangea, a lot of cumbia, a lot of world's Latin beats. Playing with another jazz band called Key Elements, doing a lot of Latin jazz and bossa nova and sambas. I just emulated. And some would say maybe appropriated Latin music into my vibe. I lived in Mexico for a long time, and I lived in Spain, and I work with the Latino community.
I mean, I don't believe in that. Like, you know, it's music is it's free and it's universal language. So you don't have to be from a place to play the music from that place. Otherwise, it's gonna be so boring. Like,
well, I mean, I play that music because I'm here. I'm here in the mission, and that's important. And I've learned a lot from other musicians here. But I think it's important, if you are going to appropriate music, then you learn where it comes from and you learn its history too, and you understand that that's what's going on, because it's more than just the sound that you're emulating. You're passing down a history behind it as well. So it's important that there's something to be told behind it.
Yeah, no, I agree totally with you. Yeah. And so you sing in English and Spanish.
Yeah,
okay.
Sing in English and Spanish. I write in English and Spanish, and a lot of the inspiration behind the songs was just, I started writing these songs maybe like 5 or 6 years ago, and at that time, it's different now, but at that time, I didn't feel like people were writing songs that were very agitative or very, well, shall we say, political, and it bothered me that there wasn't a lot of political music. Now everything's political because of our new change of shape of our government, but a lot of the same progressive issues are being fought the exact same way. It doesn't matter who the president is. It's like cooler now to march. But I've been working for the union for a long time, and we've been out protesting things that no one wanted to know about for a really long time. And so I just wanted to put that into music as well. And so these songs are more from a political standpoint.
Also, the name or the title of the album, no, Radio San Patricio, because you dedicate to St. Patrick. Like
the San Patricios, so the San Patricios were a group of Irish that came during the Mexican-American, the American invasion of Mexico in the 1800s, and they came to the U.S. looking, running from oppression from Ireland, and then they only found it in the U.S. and they couldn't find jobs, they couldn't find work, so they were forced into the military, and then they were forced to fight against Mexico, and they decided that they had no gripe with Mexico, they had no reason to kill anyone from Mexico because there wasn't one, and they switched sides and they started fighting for the Mexican army, and they were almost all of them were killed for either sedition or killed in battle. But there's a lot of affection that's still in Mexico, and what strikes me about that story is it's something that we aren't taught in the U.S.
Yeah, I never had it, for example. Yeah. So it's good, like starting from a standpoint of awareness and like realizing the brutality of war and the kind of like the useless of thing, like why you have to fight against these people, like
that. And I also have spent a lot of time with the Latino community, and I mean, it wasn't the way that I was brought up necessarily. I brought up as a white suburban male, so we weren't told these stories, we weren't told these things, but I've seen a different side of the world that I'm grateful for because of my Latin brothers and sisters. And so I don't say Latin, but from people from Latin America, and so I see the world in a different way now that I'm grateful for. So it's an homage for myself, I guess, too, because it wouldn't be for myself, but it's because of my change of standpoint that I've had, where I otherwise wouldn't have been so aware if it wasn't for that, for what I've learned.
And also, it sounds like a long process. Like you said, it took like 5 years.
The album took a while, yeah.
To put this together, no?
Yeah, the album took a while to put together, just from busyness and staying focused on things, and to really, I want to write songs that I want to play for the rest of my life. So it takes me a while to put some stuff together.
And now we're pretty happy about that.
Oh yeah, I'm really happy about it. Yeah, everybody's happy about it. We've got some really talented musicians on there. Fabio Reis on drums, and Matt Kelly on trumpet, and Damian Nunez on keys, and Rado Randrio Mamonji on guitar, and Pancho Ferrer on guitar as well. Garcia Shabankani on percussion, and Jose Vergelin as well, and other musicians as well. Lots of musicians on this album.
We just heard a song like the Beast of Babylon. No,
yeah,
it's the first single is out on the internet. You can find it if you look for it. Yeah. But you guys are gonna. I'm gonna. It's out there. took me a minute to find it. But
I know.
Yeah, no, but it's okay. I mean, the album release is on Friday.
It's on Friday.
After that, you're gonna find more.
Yeah,
on the internet. Right. But this is an occasion to actually don't sit down in front of a computer or in front of a screen to listen to music, but actually actually go to the venue and see them performing live.
Exactly. Yeah, we're gonna play the whole album live and with full band, and it's not released digitally yet. We'll release it digitally some other day, but this is old school. You gotta come
old school. You get
down.
the CD. You pay the ticket. You get the CD, and you can go and let them autograph you. No,
sure, if you want.
That'll
cost extra, but.
All right, you're listening to BFF.fm. This is Nino Musco, MSK, Clarion in the house. You guys gonna play some music live?
Yeah.
Or you ready to go now, or should I play something from the CD?
What do you guys want to do? Want to play now? I know these guys got to get back to work. We're busy.
So yeah. So one thing.
Let's play one now. Yeah.
Yeah, one now. Fabio, please put the mic towards the. This is gonna be your mic for the percussion. And you sing on this guy, and this is going to be for the thread, okay?
All right, cool.
All right, live Espresso Sesh, best frequencies forever, Clarion.
You guys want to start with Best of Times? Want to do that one? Okay. I'm more comfortable with that. All right, so we're going to play a cumbia here. This is about things going on in the neighborhood, just like during the Gilded Age. Best of times, worst of times. A creature of a comfort, come to go sleep upon a stone. There's trouble of a culture that can't go home. They circle all the vultures when things get too good for the poor. Oh no, hey.
Say
Clarion Live, BFF.fm.
Gracias.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Nice. This is like a little example of the music you're gonna figure out. You're gonna listen to on Friday live.
Yeah. That's a cumbia. We'll do it with the full band. A lot of cumbia can be very repetitive, so I tried to write one that has changes to it, that moves around a little bit more. I really like Bersuit Verga Barat. I like their cumbias that are like, they're witty lyrics, and there's a lot of changes in some of those songs, and so I tried to emulate that.
Yeah, because also we gotta say that you guys are all like great musicians, professional musicians, like being involved in different bands and different.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be like, musically speaking, it's gonna be like impeccable. No,
impeccable.
Like, I don't want to give like
music.
Impeccable
sounds
music,
like a lot of work.
executed like.
I mean, hours and hours of rehearsal. That's for sure to get this in. I don't know if I believe in impeccable music though.
I mean, it
seems like it should be a little looser than that.
Yeah, but I mean, it's gonna be like beautifully executed. There's gonna be some, sbavatura. You say this.
Yeah, we'll have keyboards. Damian Nunez is a songwriter and keyboardist for Pangea Football Club, and he's going to be with us. He'll be joining us.
And also, it's like kind of like this cross-pollination, no? Because people from different band, musicians from different band, like join it. So
right, yeah. Everybody's got their own kind of skill. Fabio's is just he's really good looking. That's his principal skill. Being good looking and cool. The coolness factor, and we can't really pull that off.
Yeah.
And Matt's skill, of course, is being more than a white guy. No. And mine is clearly stand-up comedy. No. But everyone plays a lot of different styles of music, and we figured out how to put it together to this.
And everybody brings their own spice, so it's nice.
Yeah. Right.
All right, let's play
get another one in?
Another song, yeah. Tell me the name also, because I'm putting it here. I'm trying to keep up.
Oh, cool, yeah. What do you guys, do you want to do Deportee? Or do you want to do Beast of Babylon? What do you feel like doing? You can leave it up to me.
Deportee, man.
Deportee? Let's try that
I saw
one. Okay.
cops in San Francisco today.
Yeah, and there's a good story behind this song.
Deportee, okay.
Could you hand me the guitar? I'm going to put this here.
Yeah, why don't you tell us the story of this
song?
Yeah, because we are like sucker for that. We wanna. It's a beautiful thing to have like a preview of like an album that is coming up in a few days. No, so this is like an exclusive. No, like it's and.
So this song is originally written by Woody Guthrie. It was a poem that he wrote that people overheard him humming to himself, kind of in a trance. The story goes that in Central California, in the Central Valley, back during the Brasero days in the 40s, there was, workers would come from Mexico to work the fields, and they were only citizens so long as they were working. And when the work was done, the contract was up, they were shipped back to Mexico. There was a plane crash where all of the everybody on board was killed. And when it was announced on the radio, Woody Guthrie was in New York at the time, but they had named the 5 or 6 white guys that were on the plane by name, and then they said, and the 28 migrant workers, and with no name whatsoever. And no one ever found out, no one took the time to find out who these people were until, and so he wrote a song about how these people were left nameless. And eventually someone would go and figure out the names of all these people because of this song. And I'll tell you that story afterwards, but we'll play the song first.
All right, Clarion Live, BFF.fm. Who?
Hey.
Clarion Live, BFF.FM.
Yeah.
Deportee,
Deportee, yeah. Song, I can't remember the exact year that song was written, but it endured over time and got covered and covered and covered all over the place. And a man by the name of Tim Hernandez, who lives out in the Central Valley, he caught wind of the song, he caught wind of the story, and he did the work to go back to find out where the plane crash happened and who the workers were, and found out the names of every single one of those people, and connected them back to their families. They all happen to come from the same area in Mexico, and now there's a tombstone that they set up in Fresno with the names of every single one of those people. And Tim Hernandez wrote a book about it called "All They Will Call You" that just came out a couple of months ago. But that tombstone got set up a couple of years ago, and there's a documentary coming out about it too.
So this so social awareness, also finding out like touching stories, humanity,
right?
Like.
And we started playing this song a few years ago, but with the I don't know if we can swear on this radio station, but the shit house that's going on. And
yeah, you can.
Okay, that's good to know. But the what's going on with immigration right now is it's just all about taking the humanity out of people, making people nameless. So this story is so important because it's the same old story, but it's if you can't treat people that way if they have a name, you don't, people won't. But when they become nameless people and they become beasts and they become animals, then you can do whatever you want to them.
Yeah, we shouldn't forget that we are human. Like, I mean,
right.
And everyone is human. So that doesn't matter where you're from. Like, if it's a shithole country or like this is doesn't exist. Like, it's like abominum. What are you talking about?
Right. Right, and I mean, and you see it everywhere. It's something that I don't necessarily have to experience as a white male, being from the United States, but it's something that I see in the union all the time, and working with marginalized people, and then you see here in the neighborhood too. There's a whole new wave of people that live here gentrifying neighborhoods, and the reason they can pull that off is because they don't have any roots. They don't know the people that they're affecting, and so you can pull off all kinds of tricks. Power can pull off all kinds of tricks when they take the names away from people. That's what I think.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. You want to play another song?
You guys got time for one more?
One more?
Yeah, let's be happy.
Let's be happy.
You're listening to BFF.FM, Espresso Sesh, Clarion in the house.
I don't necessarily write songs from a happy standpoint, and I understand that. What am I supposed to do?
Which one is this one?
This one's called Beast of Babylon. It's we're gonna try this live. See what happens.
Dining, feast that leaves us fighting amongst the sound. Beast that came for dining on a path that has no lighting for a sound. Dark as it is blinding, edge it is inviting you to find. Staring at the river down which we would be through and through. The sadness and the anger over someone that you never even knew. While the images get withered, power distorts the truth, distorts the truth. All this is triggered by a soul that was delivered too soon. Cannot do this
Clarion Live, BFF.FM.
Fabio Reis.
Fabio Reis on the percussion, Matt Kelly on trumpet, Colin O'Leary, vocals, Tres
cubano.
Tres cubano.
That's right.
Like 6 strings, like what, 3, like...
Three notes, 2 of them are octave. That's a G, that's a C, that's an E. It's a Cuban instrument. They used to use these. Original salsa comes from son montuno. And it was a tres, it was a bongo, and it was like a cajon style bass kind of drum that they used to do the bass.
Okay.
And that's where this thing came from.
Is it fascinating, like the, like the research on like Latin music, no?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, research, sure. I mean, I don't know. I really don't know anything. I know a thing or two, but I don't.
You're learning.
I learned, I learned, and I became. I was really interested in guitar techniques on Latin music because it seems so piano based and timba and it's all flashy and everything. But I like the syncopation of guitar, and it didn't seem like a lot of people were doing that. And I was listening a lot to Elias Ochoa from the Buena Vista Social Club, and I really liked how intricate the lines were. So I made my own tres out of a toy guitar. And then it sounded like crap, and then I made another one that still sounded like shit. But I gradually learned over time, and I mean, there's some great treseros that are around town, like John Villalobos is one, and I mean, there's incredible players. I'm not really a tresero. I know how to hold a couple things down.
So you you modify a guitar?
Yeah,
to,
I made my own. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Thanks. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's fun to play. It's a lot of fun.
Cool, yeah. And actually, it's like typical now for having this pattern. Like,
yeah, it's taken me a little while to hold it down. So if you hear any mistakes, that's probably my fault.
No.
That's probably me, most likely. Gotta lose the one, It's the gringo roots. Can't shake them.
Well, you're from California, no? So
I am, from the South Bay.
Yeah, so
right. It's kind of in there. It's in there. I mean, it's all Mexico, right? This was Mexico first.
I also, like I like to say, like we are like global citizens. We are like under the same planet.
Right.
I don't think about different. Like be the change you want to see. So instead, like, don't talk about race if you like.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'm the dominant paradigm. I think we all are in this room. So that's talk about race. I defer the conversation because I don't see it as much as someone who isn't a dominant paradigm would see. I don't want to make you guys sit around and talk about this. You all right?
Yeah.
You want to play some more?
Play some more. Play some more.
I'll play the guitar then. Let's try that jazz song. Nada.
What's the name?
On that. This one's called. Oops. Thank you. This is called Nada Que Ver. I wrote this during the Occupy times.
It's here on.
Yeah, that's on the album too.
Okay, that's the album. Let's show this.
And it's hurting. I wrote this during the Occupy times when it was just interesting how on the news they were talking about how the movement didn't really have like a message to it, and it was clearly that people who had never been there that were saying that, who had never been to one of the protests, and so I wrote this about. And there's nothing there, and it's kind of like how they want to, it's a way of diffusing movements by saying there's nothing to it, right? There's nothing there. And then ironically, too, now you have people who are in power, like our president, saying there's nothing there, there's nothing to be seen there, when everyone knows there's something there. So the song is called Nada Que Ver.
Let's play a song for people that are finishing their taxes right now.
Yes, this one goes out to everyone doing their taxes.
I know, it has a lot of pressure.
Yeah, April 17th.
Alright? I did it last night.
This is Fabio's got to go do his taxes.
It looks like he did it last night, so yeah.
I was in line yesterday getting my extension. I officially procrastinated.
All right, Clarion Live, BFF.FM.
people out of here. An empty house, cookie cutter, dead end career. So we go to occupy there. But while he's sitting in the shade of Wall Street in Maine, a stupid risk taker came to game the game, Lord. And when we found out about the way he played, he's acting like there's nothing there, acting like not a Kevin, no, like there's nothing there, not a Kevin. Well, the circus man will say that's just how it goes. The ordinary people got no control. The ordinary people wanna see a show, but when you wanna put some meat on the bones, they go nada. So, nada que ver. So like you're not even there. So, well, nada que ver. Nada que ver. 1, 2, 3, oh Lord. Sits upon your sleeve and becomes a stain. Once all the ice in your veins is drained, do you have the strength to care? Lord, because the streets are all empty, the corner clear, a sense of isolation come creeping near, telling you that hope has just disappeared, telling you there's nothing there, Lord, like now. Nada que ver, oh, like there's nothing like no, oh, oh. Nada que ver, oh, they wanna treat you like you're not even there, why? Nada que ver, oh, Lord, they wanna treat you like there's nothing there, nada que ver.
Nada que ver, nothing to see.
Nothing to see.
Yeah, Clarion.
That's fun.
Clarion, they're gonna debut with the first album on April 20, 4/20, 2018.
Gimmicky.
8 songs.
8 songs, 3 bands, full jam at the end. Musicians are welcome. 1 Grove Street at Safe House Arts. It's a dance studio that's been there for ages, and they have opened up the doors to have music there. They've been so incorporated in dance for so long that they want to see more musicians playing. So they graciously opened their doors. Safe House Arts is a wonderful organization, you know, in the trenches amongst other arts organizations fighting for survival in this town and scraping for grants and for what they got to do, but providing a place for dancers too. It's been decades, I think, that they've been around. So we'll be there. We open the doors at 9 for music and 3 bands, those Peregrinos Cósmicos. The Clarion, our band, is going to do a CD release, and Pangea Football Club as well. And Fabio Reis might bring some of his Brazilian brothers and sisters to come and jam and sit in with him. And Matt Kelly might bring some of his brothers and sisters to come sit in with him. We'll have instruments there, and it's an open house, an open shop. No one will be turned away. We're asking for $10. That will get you a CD as well. And why don't we can we throw us on a song from the album?
Definitely, yes.
Let's do that.
Definitely, yes. Which one? Let me put it up.
Best of Times. Which one do you guys think?
Best of Time.
Yeah, I like that.
All right.
Let's play track number 2.
Play track number 2 from Radio San Patricio, the Radio BFF.FM. Like track number 2. Let me see.
2, Best of Time.
Best of Time. 1 and 2. You want to introduce it or just play?
It's introduced. Yeah, go for it. Thank you.
All right. Let me see what's going on with this guy. Best of Times. Bam.
There we go.
BFF.
Creature of a comfort, come to go sleep upon a stone. There's trouble of a culture that can't go home. They circle all the vultures when things get too good for the poor.
There was Best of Time, Clarion.
Yeah.
From the album Radio San Patricio, so this is how it sounds. It sounds pretty good, actually. Let's say hi to Dan Wool.
Hi, Dan.
Hey, Dan, thank you for listening.
Good,
thank you for appreciating,
Yeah.
and supporting the live music, recorded music, radio
Appreciate you. Hope you can make it Friday, Dan. Hope you can make it.
Yeah. In the meanwhile, let's say Fabio Reis has a jam this Monday.
This Monday.
Yeah, we got a mic right here, or a mic right there. So yeah.
This Monday, come to the Revolution Cafe. It's free. We have Kings and the Tropical Jam. We have Dave Boyce on sax, Edu Amado on bass, Zori on percussion, Michael on guitar, and a special guest from Brazil, Rafael Amarante, amazing guitar player. We start like 9 p.m. It's free. And it's amazing. We play jazz, Brazilian music, funk. Is a mix. Is a journey in terms of music.
It's a trip. It's a trip. All right.
Come. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Fabio. Cool.
Thanks,
all
Fabio.
right. So the musician looks like they are going to work at this time.
They gotta go do their taxes.
I know. It's tax time. Yeah? The best time of the year.
It's too late to get the extension.
But no, we got the main guy from Clarion. Let's put this right here. So
Oh yeah, there's the lighting. It's better. Yeah, this album comes out on Friday, and it's a bunch of different musicians from the neighborhood. Those of you who are watching this now, you've seen us with Pangea Football Club, Peregrinos Cósmicos, Los Nadies, different friends from different spectrums have come together to join in with this.
And also 5 years in the making. So
yeah, it took a really long time to make it, and that's just how it is. It's kind of my first swipe at a proper production of an album, so it takes time.
If you are proud of it, if you're happy about the results, they're the most important.
Yeah,
thing.
well, the process of recording, I'm sure that you've had this conversation before if you've had musicians in here, but there's a letting go that's involved. You can always make things better, and I listen to this thing. I actually want to turn a couple of the songs over to you to do some remixes on, because I want to do some post production on this and do a little more storytelling sonically with it.
Please, yeah.
So I was thinking about you actually, and some of these songs could be fun. And I have a lot of from working with the union and being in a lot of protests over the last 15 years. I have a lot of audio of protests and people chanting and drums and things like that. And it'd be fun to do a kind of a sonic scape of protest. Mix it because it's very rhythmic, right? And mix it in, blend it in with beats and things like that. So I have a bunch of audio, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it would be awesome.
Yeah. But we worked on this thing for a long time, and I spent time, organizing it. I play bass with Pangea Football Club, who's also been working on an album, and it's been taking a while. And just a matter of getting the funds together and people's times and the inspiration being right. But really, I think that musicians can attest that you really just got to let stuff go. Just let it be happy with your story that is behind the song and move on to the next one.
Yeah, somebody said, I don't remember the name, but I say at some point you have to abandon the mix. Otherwise it's endless labor lim, you can fix it up, this the little EQ there, or compression.
It's just ridiculous.
So, at
and
some
it's all
point
just based on your mood, right? That you're in at the time.
Yeah.
Your moods change.
So, if you are happy about the message, probably focus on that. Don't Yeah,
I'm happy about this album, and there's some things that could be better, but they'll be better in the next recording experiences that I have, and so I'm happy to let it go and put it out there in the world and see what happens, and it's just a lot of fun, it's a lot of fun, and it's important too because a lot of these musicians that I've been playing with for years, I want other people to hear them. My buddy Pancho Ferrer, he's been in so many bands, but there's not a lot of recordings of him. And so it's been a real pleasure having him, songwriting with him, playing on the streets with him. We've been compadres for a long time. He's been a compadre for a lot of people for a long time. Fabio as well. He's an incredible drummer, incredible percussionist, and it's good to get him. It's good to have him recorded for posterity, because we do some. You see him with Afrolicious or with Pangea or with this, his jam on Mondays, the tropical jam on Mondays. It's just like it's just off the hook, and it's a phenomenal experience to be at. But you know, music is, you know, it's that experience, and you move on to the next one. But to actually have a recording of it feels really good. So Fabio's on like 5 different tracks on this album, and I'm very happy to have you, man. Happy to be friends with you. Thank you, brother. Yeah, thanks, Fabio.
Ciao, Fabio. Thank you for being here.
Say hi to the IRS.
Yeah.
Don't say hi to the IRS. Bye, Fabio.
See you around.
Yeah, see you Friday at the...
Friday at Safe House, 1 Grove Street.
Yeah.
Peace out.
See you, brother.
And we are live here, BFF.fm from the Mission Studio. Feels great to be back here.
Yeah, it's a beautiful studio.
I still remember my English after 2 weeks in Italy.
Oh, welcome back. Welcome back.
You know. Let's play another song from the CD.
Sure, yeah. This song is in Spanish. This song was written in inspiration with. I've been a union organizer for a long time with in the service industry, including janitorial, and there is an epidemic of dropping a serious note here, but of sexual assault of women who are janitors at night in the workplace, and they and watching them organize to fight against this and go public with this inspired me to write this song called
actually
Mandon.
you never hear about that.
You don't hear about it. Yeah, very
something,
marginalized. And there's a lot of fights that happen in these buildings where there's a supervisor who's like this kind of macho guy that can, in the dead of night, literally does whatever he wants. But when people organize, he shuts up. He can't talk. And so mandon is an expression like for the boss or someone who bosses people around. And this is about how you create the silence of the mandon, the silence of the boss.
The silence of the boss. Okay.
And this is in estilo guajira. It turns into a son montuno. So wait for it.
Which song is that?
Song number 3.
Song number 3. El Mandon. Clarion. BFF.fm.
siempre tiene la razón. Se cayó.
All right.
All right.
All right. Clarion, there's El Mandon. Sounds great, this album. So, 8 tracks.
What is it?
Let's talk about the process. Like, you guys, how the recording, like, to put together all these musicians. You have like a football, like a soccer team of musicians, you know? Like,
yeah, basically, we got one sub.
Yeah, one sub, yeah, just in case, you know, but, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's different songs call for different, requirements. How should we say, instrumentations. So, like that last one we listened to was a guajira that goes into son montuno, and so it's all percussion. Guajira is it's a Cuban rhythm, Cuban style that comes out of Santiago de Cuba, and that's kind of what attracted me to the tres, is playing the guajira, I learned that it's like a slow son, and son is like a pre-salsa kind of thing. So we pulled together the salsa percussion to play the son, like the hits at the end, and that's the voice of the one and only Maria Medina Serafin singing, who is a long time musician and resident of the Mission District from Puerto Rico represent. Really happy to know her and learn from her and have her on this album as well. But the process for that one was that playing the guajira was a lot of fun to learn on the streets. We picked it up really quickly, actually, as a group. It's a rhythm that we've been playing for a while, and the cumbia as well. We've been playing the cumbia for a while. There's a couple cumbias on this album. One of them's in English, the other one's in English and Spanish. And took a long cumbia that we've been playing for a long time called Baila Negra, which is, I think it's, I'm pretty sure it's public domain. It's not owned by anybody, so, didn't have any copyright issues with that one. But we've been playing that, and that's a kind of a song that's covered a lot. And then there's a jazz song on there that I wrote. And there's some other son on there as well, and it's kind of a little mix, little americana, kind of rock style. It's been a real pleasure playing with Fabio. I know I bring him up a lot, but what's interesting about him is that he's got just such a knack for rhythms, but he plays the cumbia was difficult for him, which it's usually the other way around. Cumbia was kind of my gateway into Latin music because it's very simple. It's like simple things done well. Simple bass line, simple kind of like parts to put it together. But he had a hard time kind of figuring it out. It's tricky for him, which I find interesting. But he nails it on that song, Best of Times.
Because Brazilians are no Latinos. You can always pull the card. Yeah.
Yeah, but he nails it. He picked it up quickly. And some of those recordings that he was in, I mean, we were in the studio for hours. It was some late night stuff because we're just hustling other jobs and other things going on. And he works as a designer, and he works as he's driving Uber and things like that. So, but he always comes in. He always comes through to help me out, which is much appreciated. As did everybody else too. As friends, we put this thing together. And some of the stuff we wrote on the streets, we just kind of made things up as we went along. And I did my best to organize it so that we could get into a studio. And actually, I miss playing Clarion. We haven't played in a while. It's been a hot minute since we played there.
Yeah, but also the weather wasn't the best lately.
Yeah, it's been weird weather, right?
Probably waiting for.
It's interesting though.
Sunny days.
When we go out, and we play there over the last couple of years, because there's been such a the vacancy of musicians in the Mission and this new wave of huge new wave of residents. When we go play. I felt like I was like a zoo animal because they weren't used to seeing live music. Which is kind of the case right now. If you walk around the Mission, there's not a lot of live music that's going on.
Or at least like a live band playing.
Yeah, and because we're playing, music with a Latin flair to it, people were like, you just felt like, they're thinking, this is what the locals do. This is what the locals do. I don't personally consider myself a local. I don't think I have that right necessarily because there's people who much more deeply affected than I am, and I have been. But
I mean, this is like a questionable like statement, because how long does it take to be considered a local?
Sure, right.
So
right.
like
yeah,
there is somebody like actually like it's like there is a number of years, like that's
the community. I mean, I don't like to consider myself that way because there's people who've been much longer than me, and it isn't even necessarily that. It's like it's how other people treat you.
Yeah.
And it was just interesting. I remember playing out there in Clarion one time, and everyone was up with their phones. Like everyone had their phone up, and I felt like I was a zoo animal. I was being broadcast as a zoo animal. And it's just the way it is, it is what it is, and it's fun to
see this in another context. So you guys were playing that good that people want to keep a memory of it. No, because nowadays you don't remember things until you photograph or like film it.
Yeah.
So
right? No. It was just interesting because I'm like that too. I like to film things that I see and what have you. But it's just interesting. I just remember looking up and everybody had their phone out. But it's a lot of fun. I mean, playing Clarion is a lot of fun in spite of how it smells sometimes.
Yeah. But it's good also that you find like some courage after these 5 years in the making, no? And actually you put this together, no?
Yeah. And it needed to happen. We've been talking about it for so long, so it's time for it to happen. And I don't know. That's just kind of the phase that I'm in my life right now, where I want to produce things and I want to do them and move on. So I'm part of a lot of different bands and recording projects, just trying to get things out there as much as possible. Because life is short, but it's fun. I'm really happy to release this and to play these songs and to show this, because I've been kind of behind the scenes with a lot of things, supporting Pangea, supporting other bands. And it's nice to get my own stuff out there.
Yeah.
A lot of people that you didn't you've seen them around the neighborhood maybe, but you don't know exactly what their deal is, and then you see them in a whole other light. People come up to me and tell me that too, that they didn't know that I sing and they didn't know I play, because I don't do it so often. I'm usually supporting somebody else. So it's fun. It's been fun to put this together.
Are you excited I guess you're very excited for Friday, no?
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, I'm excited to play a place like this that's kind of off the beaten path. It's not like your usual kind of
the
venue.
Usual venue, yes.
It's open, to the public, and it isn't something that there's no dress code, there's no expectation, and if you don't have the funds to get in, that's fine. Everybody's welcome. Concern is going to be running security, which is our Jacob Savage's community kind of partnership with inoculating any issues that happen on the streets. So it's a local group that's going to be doing the security, and it's in a little bit difficult part of the neighborhood at Grove and Market. So it's right where the library is, kind of where the Tenderloin begins, and like split by Market with Soma. And there's a Burger King there that's at Grove and Market, and we'll be above the Burger King. So it's like basically where Grove and is it Hyde? Yeah, Grove and Hyde hit Market and become 8th Street on the other side. You'll see the Burger King will be upstairs from there. But it's a big dance studio. It just feels old school. It doesn't feel like there's a lot of flack to get in there, and I appreciate places like that.
And also there is no curfew time, so
yeah, so we can stay late. I mean,
sure.
We don't want
to
be respectfully late.
Yes, yeah.
Respectfully late. Which is something that's missing right now. I've noticed in town that there aren't any live music venues. I used to run one myself, where we would do underground, or whatever. It was on the second floor, but we do underground jazz shows.
Upper ground.
It was upper ground, Yeah, but we would it was just jazz. It would we'd call Nick Culp started that, called No Last Call, and the jazz would start at like 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. and it wasn't anything. It wasn't anything but just that. But it was just, that's the time when people want to work. That's the time when people want to play.
Yeah.
Musicians want to work, and so it was just refreshing. And nobody's doing that, right? Well, at least I haven't heard about it. It would be nice if there was a place that just had live music. Nothing. It doesn't have to be like it doesn't have to be something that is some like fucking like drugged up. Synthetic party or anything, and that never happened. We never had issues,
yeah.
And I think the live music kind of inoculates all that stuff. you can just talk to your friends, and I remember you talking about your radio station. What was it? It was like 5 or 6 years ago at that space.
Still
still getting there, but
idealist, dreamer about it.
Hell yeah, but yeah, that's what we need. That's where all that stuff comes from. And so I appreciate that Safe House has opened their doors to be able to do this. What can I tell you? We're gonna be there. We're gonna do it. We're gonna release the album. And we're gonna be out there. And
if you go, you can get a copy of the CD.
You get a copy of the CD. And Pangea Football Club is gonna play. We got a bunch of new songs to play as well. And Los Peregrinos Cósmicos, a rumba flamenco band from the neighborhood, is gonna be playing as well. And it's open. Towards the end, come like 1 or 2 o'clock. Musicians can come and sit in. So if you bring an instrument, it'll be an open scene. Nothing too pretentious going on there.
Cool. No, good to know that. Let's play another song actually from Radio San Patricio.
All right.
Clarion.
What song shall we do?
Which one?
How about Fantoche? Choque Fantoche.
Choque Fantoche. Yes.
Yeah, this is a son montuno in Spanish and English. Fantoche means like a pawn in Spanish. It means a pawn, and this is about how pawns tend to be trained to fight over things that they don't really understand.
Okay.
Octavio Bassi saw it coming before the border was painted red. Come and blame the monster that you
Clarion, BFF.FM, Colin O'Leary in the studio.
Hello.
Yes,
hello.
Radio San Patricio. You're listening to. There was.
That was Choque Fantoche.
Choque Fantoche.
Son Montuno.
So this this sound is like heavy on drums, a lot of brass, like a little festive and danceable. Like I can't wait to see this live because you cannot stand still. Or if you do, man, like you gotta have some problem. If you stand still to this music, there is something wrong with you. Like
something will move you. It'll move inside you and it might hurt. So it's better to move outside.
Yes, definitely. This music will move you. For sure.
It's a lot of fun. Yeah.
No. Let's go in a different topic now. I mean, that seems still like right there, no? So you work. Talking about your work in the community, besides like working for the union, you also work in this unique place in San Francisco. That is Radio Havana Social Club.
Yeah.
There is a beautiful place. It's like. As soon as you walk in, you got like, wow, where I am. No, it's like artistic. The owners, Leila and Victor
Navarrete.
Victor Navarrete is an artist that transformed the space.
Right. He also made the menu there, so all the food is his. Well, he and Leila made the menu together, I should say.
So it's a little hole in the wall on Valencia Street that is like takes you in a different dimension. No?
Yeah.
And also, you work there on the Mondays. You do some live music.
We started having some acoustic music there on Mondays. Just building it back with the community, local musicians. Last night, Alison Lovejoy played her accordion, and that was transcending. You felt like you were in a different country, different time. She's playing accordion in this funky bar. We'll have different musicians every Monday. Rasul Grayson, a local guy born and raised in San Francisco, is a guitar player and he's our saxophone player with Pangea Football Club, but he's also an incredible guitar player. He's gonna play guitar on Mondays. Trying to just rotate out different people, build some business, for that place, because it's a beloved spot, and Victor and Leila have been running it. This is their 20th year. They've been running it for a long time, and I'm really happy to be part of their community. And I work there on Saturdays and Mondays, but it's a special place.
Give you a hand, yes.
Yeah, it's a special place because every so many other businesses have been priced out, and they're managing to stick around. But it's a small business, and it's held together by a very thin thread, and when one thing goes wrong, a lot of things go wrong after that. So, if they have to close because of sickness or whatever for a little while, it takes a really long time to build it back up. So, I think it's really important. I try to tell my friends, come there once. If everybody that we know goes there once a month, then they're going to be fine. The place is going to be fine. So, I'm curating music on Mondays, and if you're local in the neighborhoods and you play an acoustic instrument, we can't have drums because we don't want to perturb the neighbors. But we can have guitar, accordion. Nakia Wright's going to come and play in a couple weeks, and she's going to play her flute, and she's going to play some loop on her flute. We're open. I mean, it's just a little shift, and it's important to build. I think a lot of restaurants and places would like to build back what's been like the slaughter of art in this town. It was just it's kind of a dead zone when you walk around any kind of given night in the Mission, especially. And so businesses, I think, have a hard time being able to put the money forward to pay for musicians. And I presume that every single person who's running a restaurant, they wanted to build a space of art, and they wanted to have some accountability and some equity with the community. But the rents are so high that they can't afford the musicians. So, I don't know what's up with that. There's something missing there. But you could probably equate it to the price of commercial properties or commercial rent in particularly in the Mission. But we're trying to build it there, and that's the little thing that we can do.
And like as a independent, little small
Tiny
radio station, we support like independent,
Yeah.
small business, no, because we are a small business, like 4 years old, no,
Right.
and trying to survive.
Right, exactly. And one little thing goes wrong, you have a little mic break or a cable break or something, and you could be out for months.
Yeah, actually,
it takes you forever.
No, thanks to our engineer and our staff, it's everything works pretty well. We had like a mixer that was like went off all of a sudden, like. And we replaced it. There is a nice community.
Yeah.
Thankfully, the BFF, it's a great community.
Nice.
Like lots of DJ, hardworking, bringing content, live contents here, like 7 days a week.
Yeah.
And almost from sunrise to midnight or later.
Always, right.
So it's great, and I want to give a shout actually to BFF, everybody who's involved here, and if everybody listening through Facebook, there is a donate button as well.
Yeah, and it's built by little people doing small things to build things up. Right?
Like
Just those
focus
little
on.
things.
I mean, I'm kind of focused on the community because as a foreign here, I've been living 8 years. I don't know if I'm local enough for after 8 years.
I don't know what that word.
But yeah, but still I'm very fascinated by the music community who's out there, and besides the changing and the artists that are living town, there are still like hardworking artists here, and with the quality. There is good quality.
Yeah.
And it's nice for me as a music lover mostly. It's nice to discover like this reality that is around. And there is so much to know.
It's incredible, right? It takes a while though. This town takes a while to get used to. The friends that I've made I've been here for 15 years. I grew up in the South Bay, but the friends that I've made in the last year, I would say year and a half, maybe 2 years, are it's just a whole other level, musicianship and people that I hadn't seen before. I didn't know about. There's a lot of people that aren't on Facebook, and they don't do Instagram and everything, and they're playing all the time. They're born and raised playing music, back when you could make a living off of it in I guess the Mission in San Francisco, and so.
I mean, you can make a living out of music. You have to work very hard.
Yeah, but the point is that this town takes a little while. Like you kind of see different people, and you see all the different kind of like little communities and little ecosystems that are going on, like micro ecosystems of musicians and networks that happen here. I really like the Mondays at Revolution, Ricky Aguilar's jam. I'm sorry, I might be fudging on his last name, but they have a Latin jazz jam that starts at it goes 5:30 to 8:30 every Monday, and that's just like that's the best jam in town. That's the best jam in town. I can't think.
Yeah,
of
it's great. Yeah, it's a great musician.
Yeah, I just found that like recently. They've been doing it for a long time, but I just kind of recently found that. But thank you very much for everything you do, man. This is phenomenal.
Thank you.
It's fun to get up on here. We got our CD release for Clarion coming up on Friday. 12 different musicians on this album. We'll have a full band playing all the songs. It's going to be at Safe House Arts at 1 Grove Street. Doors open at 9 o'clock, and they will stay open until late. And we're encouraging musicians to come on in for a jam towards the end of the night. Clarion's going to hit around 10 or 10:30, but there's a band before us. Los Peregrinos Cosmicos are going to play some rumba flamenco to start the night. Pangea Football Club is going to play, and I play with them. And we're an open bunch, so we're happy to have people come and sit in. We'll have the PA set up, so just bring your instrument, come and sit in.
And it's going to be fun. Also, if you are in the neighborhood on Thursday, I'm playing with Italian funk band Sonamo.
Oh yeah, Sonamo.
It's something actually pretty unique in San Francisco. No? There is something that is worth it to check it out.
There's a lot of Italians in town.
Yeah, but this it's not like classic Italian. There are actually not many Italians in the crowd. Right?
Right
we have a mixed audience. So it's going to be Thursday at the Elbow Room upstairs
Cool.
with another.
Okay.
I haven't been played actually there in 3. I still play downstairs. It's been like 5 years or so, but I haven't played upstairs in 3 years or something. So I'm excited.
Right on. Yeah, we just played there not too long ago. Love playing that room.
You know, it's something that is very typical Mission district venue. The Elbow Room this Thursday.
Hanging on by a thread, presumably.
Yeah, like that's how it goes here. If the landlord sell the building or decided to, you are fucked. There is no, there is no. So I mean, this is the nature also of this land. This land is based on the San Andreas fault. So it's an earthquake can come and destroy anything. So like a landlord can come and decide to sell the building, and you're fucked. So that means that we enjoy while we are here every single moment of it, and feels good to be here. Actually, feels very good.
Yeah.
Feels good. Thank you, Colin, for being here.
Thanks,
For performing live. Was like a last minute, and I appreciate this even more.
Me?
Yes, I appreciate. We got some cancellation.
I love it.
And it's great. And you brought Matt and Fabio to play along with you, and for this little preview of what will be going on Friday.
Right. Yeah. Hope everybody liked it. Hope it sounded good. Thanks, everyone, for listening in. Friday, please come join us at Safe House Arts for Clarion CD release.
We play one last song from this album
to
close the show.
So this is one that we wrote on the streets called Guajira Misión. It's about...
It's the closing track of the album,
closing track of the album, too, yeah.
And stay tuned on BFF.fm because at 4 p.m. it's going to be Astral Projection Radio Hour live. And see you next time. Same hour, same station every Tuesday, 2 to 4 with Espresso Sesh.
Yeah.
Next week is gonna be a label showcase from We Will Never Be Boring. It's a indie rock label out of South Bay.
Okay.
It's gonna be a showcase. So
very cool.
We try to keep this show like vibrant a little bit. Eclectic, so even you, if you have other music project to bring in, I would love to have Pangea, I would love to have other stuff. Let's try to make it happen, because also we gotta say we are live at 2 p.m. on a Tuesday, so people usually work at this time. But
we'll be back. We'll be back. Plenty of stuff going on. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Colin. Thank
Friday,
you, Claudio.
Safe House Arts. Clarion CD release.
Yes, let's play Guajira Misión as the closing track. Thank you so much. Espresso Sesh, BFF.fm.
I pray she make it home. This city breathes with the freeze of the Alita when they blow so cold. I haven't traveled for miles and miles to pay the price and close my eyes. Pueblo makes you wise.
Oye mi guajira, para despertar la misión.
Mira cómo está
And this was Clarion BFF.fm. Thank you for listening. Stay tuned.
I want your body, everybody wants your body.